take a look.
With the race for New York City mayor, and Zohran Mamdani is closing the gap with former Governor Andrew Cuomo for the top spot 6 days before the primary. Mamdani is now within 11 points of Cuomo in a new Marist poll, but with
That's the first round. That's the first round without ranked choice
voting and no one with the majority of votes, the race becomes a lot more complicated.
Andrew Cuomo has been the front runner from the moment he entered the race. But as you said, his numbers are flat, and Mamdani has cut his lead in half.
The poll predicts that Andrew Cuomo will win, but he'll have to hold off a surging Zohran Mamdani.
We continue to be within 10 points. We continue to be on the verge of a single-digit race.
The 33-year-old socialist assemblyman from Queens is closing the gap. In a poll of likely Democratic primary voters, none of the candidates has the 50% needed to win outright. Andrew Cuomo is first with 38%, followed by Mamdani with 27%, and Comptroller Brad Lander and Council Speaker Adrian Adams, each with 7%. 11% are undecided. The poll predicts that Cuomo beats Mamdani in the 7th round, 55% to 45%.
Trump's coming for New York. Who do you think can...
I got hopium for you. Polls were wrong about Eric Adams' win by 9.5%. Turnout is nearly double from last year's with early voting numbers. The polls conducted aren't contacting Muslim voters over 45, who he's been doing hella outreach with. Most important, we need more people to knock on doors for get out the vote. Absolutely. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, baby. If Mamdani doesn't win, I'm not sure the American public can be saved because you can't run a race better than him. I'm going to be honest with you. Even if he wins, I don't know if the American public can be saved, but at least he's a beacon of hope, a really necessary hope. Like, allow me to put my lib cap on for a brief moment and say that even if you're a liberal right now and you're scared of socialism, you can't deny that he is exactly the momentum that the Democratic Party needs. A real fighter who is young, who is charismatic, who is going to actually routinely make a big fuss about Donald Trump. He's going to do right by his constituents. He's not going to be beholden to corporate interests. This is exactly the type of guy you need. It doesn't always have to be a fucking white dude, okay? I know many liberals are so used to voting for the same names that they've seen over and over again, and they think that spells stability, and stability is what we need right now. But Zohran Mamdani is exactly the type of candidate that represents broad, popular ideas that you all want implemented. And while he's young, his lack of experience means that he is less corrupted by the very same forces that cause you to vote for these old fucking douchebags who don't do anything for you and have calcified their support in their real corporate benefactors who only defend their real constituents, not you, not the average voter, but instead the real estate lobby and all these other special interest groups, whether it be DoorDash or numerous other expensive campaign contributors, okay? It's also obviously insane that there are New Yorkers out there who would rather vote for a fucking Mr. Cop Diddler, Mr. Cop Fondler, Andrew fucking Cuomo. Just because you know his last name, just because you recognize his last name doesn't mean that like he is the right guy for this moment. Every single aspect of New York City existence that has devolved in the last 2 decades is directly a consequence of Andrew Cuomo's leadership when he was the governor. And now, in an effort to continue that reign of corporate interest, people like Michael Bloomberg are pouring in millions of dollars. Andrew Cuomo gets support from a lot of these fucking pig unions, or at least the union leadership, but the rank and file is not with Andrew Cuomo because the rank and file understands that Andrew Cuomo is also anti-union. He has already destroyed New York politics and made New York Republicans significantly more powerful in the state so that he could maintain his grip of power. He is exactly the kind of corrupt pervert that has ruined the lives of regular New Yorkers. He is everything that's wrong with New York politics. He's everything that's wrong with the Democratic Party. His attitude is precisely the reason why you have tremendous resentment right now at this very moment towards the feckless ineptitude that you see from the Democrats. You need a guy like Zohran. You need a guy like Zohran. You need a fighter. And my God, are they doing everything they can now in the last round because he's become a real threat to the established order and the comfortable corruption that they want in business as usual politics, that they're trying to rat fuck him as aggressively as possible. Mamdani, in a resurfaced 2021 video, urged activists to demand that local candidates support BDS. Speaking up for Israel comes with everything you might want. And we need to show that it's not that way anymore. There are consequences for speaking up in favor of apartheid. Yeah, what's the problem? Maybe people liked it because they liked what he had to say. Spoke to some New Yorkers today who unfortunately like Zohran and his policies, but see them as too good to be true, almost, even without any real justification for why, and therefore view Lander as a safer choice with similar policies. What would you say to such voters? If every politician is going to say that they're going to give you 100% and basically, at minimum, give you 50%, why wouldn't you want someone like Zohran who promises 100% and will give you 50%, rather than Lander who promises you 75% and will give you 25%? Also, Lander can't win. The safe choices is precisely how we got to the modern Democratic Party. Okay? Super easy answer. Rank Zohran, rank Lander first, Zohran second. No, fuck that. No. Don't fucking do this bullshit either. No, rank Zohran first, okay? What is this like? Oh, just rank Zohran second. Lander's not going to clear anyway. It doesn't matter. I know it's ranked choice, but still, rank him first. Bullshit. Everyone is now teaming up against Zohran. These ads are not brought to you by Palantir. I decided to watch the local nightly news on NBC. Every single commercial break runs anti-Zohran ad from Cuomo Super PAC. The ad usually appears twice a break at least. I've lost count of how many times I've seen it. Alex Karp, the billionaire CEO of creepy defense contractor Palantir, has taken a side in New York. Closely watched mayoral race. Karp, who once bragged that his company kills people, recently gave large sums of money to a super PAC that is supporting the campaign of former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. It's crazy that this is now officially, once again, muddied interest versus real grassroots, okay? Door knocking, real grassroots, person-to-person communication versus an endless amount of money in a relatively important race, but still a small one in comparison to, like, you know, a fucking race for governor or whatever, or a race for the general race for president. And it's all of the major villains getting together and doing their very best. All of the major villains that are getting together to do their very best to rat fuck this campaign and to try to stop this momentum from taking place. I just, like, Democrats need to look at this and go, all the people that we hate, all the people that we despise, all the people that are pro-Trump, all of the forces that dominate our lives are coming together to say, fuck this guy. Even out of pure resentment, you probably need to go and fucking vote for Zohran and rank him first. I've heard some good opinions about the polls. Poll is a week old. Tough poll from Mamdani, ending with a 55-45, the latest Marist poll that came out 2 days ago. Poll is a week old. These races tend to have a lot of late movement, including 2021, and the week since it fielded has been action-packed. 2021 final Marist poll had Adams by plus 12, and he won barely by 1%. Cuomo and Mamdani are tied 32-32 among the most active voters. In other words, those who voted in the Democratic primaries for 2020 president, 2021 mayor, and 2022 governor. The diehards, the ones that will walk through fire to vote, are split evenly. Relative comparable days in 2021, Brooklyn is punching above its weight in-person voting, and the Bronx is punching below its weight. That means Cuomo will likely need a surge of primary day turnout in the Bronx for a white candidate in 100-degree weather. Mamdani cross endorsement was a boon for Mamdani when it happened, but it may have just become much more valuable after Lander was arrested by ICE yesterday. Maybe Lander picks up some steam and helps Mamdani leapfrog Cuomo on some ballots down the stretch. Mamdani gains among Latino voters are encouraging. We'll see if that can translate into decent turnout in Latino neighborhoods, given there's no major Latino candidate in the race. I'm going to hand it over to my guy, Jake. Jake Rubenstein says, this to me is the most important table in the entire poll. Literally 1/5 of the electorate doesn't express a preference around the top two. This race very much has the potential to go either way. There's also tremendous youth voter turnout, and I highly doubt that the fucking youth are turning out to vote for fucking Andrew Cuomo. As of the fourth day of early voting in 2025 Democratic primary for New York City mayor, the 25 to 34-year-olds have cast the most early ballots. These four assembly districts have 90% of Brooklyn's population, but are making up 44% of the early voting total so far in the first 4 days. Anyway,